Hello, my sleepy squirrels. I'm Bobmcplay.
And I'm Dadooine.
And together, we are
the Orange Team.
This is our third video in our 3 Tips to Beat series. And today, who are we going over and why, Dadooine?
Today we're going to be looking at your main, Miss Ashrah. And I believe the reason is because you've been kicking so much butt in the MK Ultra Rai seasonal tournament with Ashrah. So some of your opponents have asked what they could do to beat Ashrah. So we're going to give them a little bit of help.
Alright, so let's do our overview now. Ashrah, very mixy character. Her pokes, as always, are lows. Her back fours are low. But then she also has a base overhead button, which is her forward 3, which can combo. Cancel. Something like that. I dropped it. But so she has regular lows and overheads you have to watch out for. But then they're also like snuck into her strings. So her forward 4-2, the second hit is an overhead. See that overhead right there where she like hits you on the head?
The hilt of the sword.
Yep. Her back 2-2, the second hit is an overhead.
And that looked mid, so that one's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, and it looks a lot like stand 2-2. Like these strings look very similar and can mix you up, but the stand 2-2 is a low. So be on the lookout for that. Last thing is her fatal blow. It's an overhead. Yay.
Okay, so watch out for that overhead fatal.
Yep. Alright, tip number 1. Tip number 1. Bum 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 bum. Alright, so tip number 1. This is gonna be dealing with her main pressure string, or like main pressure button, which she uses, which is her projectile. Which now I want you to just hold lock for me. Right in your face, her projectile is +5.
Oh wow.
If she's back here, it's +18.
Oh wow.
Full screen if she EXs it, +32.
That's a lot of advantage for a projectile.
Yes.
Even 5 up close is a lot.
Yeah, it means she's gonna get her 12 frame mid in before you can get most of your buttons.
I literally never looked that up, and just knowing that is gonna be
Yeah, and like right here at this distance, it's like +8.
And then she has the range with the sword.
And she has the range with her mid
Yeah.
to just cover the distance instantly.
Yeah.
So you're not able to press buttons after it, but when you can press buttons is during it. So as you can see, this thing has a really long windup, and during that time, you can go with a fast punish, like a your jab string, like a 1-2 or 1-1, depending on your character, and you can combo off that and interrupt her. So what I want you to do is, just while this is winding up, I want you to try pressuring me.
Alright, let's do it.
Or not pressuring me, punishing me.
Let's try it.
Ready?
Alright.
There you go.
That's gonna
So,
change my Ashrah game.
if you aren't able to react, just hold block and don't let her get anything else except some chip damage off of it.
Okay, but I
So if you
I
try
can
and press
practice.
buttons, she's gonna go first.
Right, but I can practice that, and I'll learn to react to it pretty well. Because 40 frames is 2/3 of a second. That's a long time.
Yeah.
It's the same as Xiao's projectile, which takes forever.
Yep. Except Ashrah's a lot scarier. Alright?
All right, that's it. That's tip number 1.
Alright, Dad, it's time for tip number 2. Tip number 2. Tip number 2.
Okay, but you're supposed to call me Dadooine in these videos.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
So, tip number 2 is about punishing her down forward 3 move, and also her down forward 3 enhance, which, if you are wondering, it is the same in dark mode as it is in light mode.
Okay.
In dark mode, it just adds like one of her orbs around you, which, if you're very interested, there are other guides about that.
Okay. And this hits mid, correct?
And it hits mid, yeah.
All right. Let's see what happens.
So the thing about punishing this is when she lands, she can start moving instantly. So you really only have 2 options of punishing her, and that's doing aerial string jump in or an anti-air. And I'm gonna tell you now, doing the aerial string jump in, that's gonna be a bit easier than doing the regular anti-air.
And probably more damage.
Yeah, so once I get in the air after this, you have to jump up and hit me with your aerial string. And if you're a character who can combo off it, great, do your combo.
Okay.
Alright, you wanna try it? I'm gonna do a string into this.
All right.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
That
Now
was a lot
let's try an
easier than I thought.
anti-air. The timing is a bit precise, and it doesn't turn your character around instantly, so you have to wait for your character to turn themselves around before you do it.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Alright, like that. So I gotta wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, you see how it didn't switch you? Alright.
A little longer. There we go.
There you go. Alright, you're a natural.
And so,
or a reptile.
I mean, down 2 is kind of an easy anti-air. Some characters can combo off of it. Reptile can't. Well, maybe I can throw Scorpion in there.
Yeah. Alright, time for tip number 3. Tip number 3. Bum 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 bum.
Now this is weird, Bob.
Bum. Yeah. Wait, why?
Because I'm Reiko.
Why is that weird?
I've never played Reiko before.
Really? Oh, it's so easy. Press back, forward, 2. You're a Reiko main now! Let's go! I'm so proud of you. You've literally just mastered the character. That's pretty much all you have to do.
Yeah, this matchup sucked. Alright.
Alright, so the reason why I have you playing as Reiko is because you know what Reikos love to do? It's spamming their projectile. Just like that. That's all you have to do as the character.
It looks really cool when the stars are stuck in.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Should actually did something. So, the reason why I want you to play Reiko, and this applies not just to Reiko, but like pretty much any character that likes to spam their projectiles, like Sindel, Liu Kang, Reiko, Quan, any of those characters. Reiko's just one of the more prominent. Is that don't do it, because you can't just spam your projectiles.
I can so just sit here and spam my projectiles.
Okay, yeah. So, the reason is because Ashrah has this pretty gnarly move where she can phase through them. So, do your projectile.
Ooh.
On a read, she can phase right through it. She does need to predict it though. And don't think that, okay, if I do it not on a read, because her armor has multiple hits. You see, Reiko's projectile is normally 3 hits, her armor can still go through it.
Wow, okay.
So even if she does it a little late, if she armors it, it's okay. So the most important thing here is just don't be too predictable with your projectiles, because if you just mix up when you do it, then it's harder for them to duck under or jump over. That's more of a general thing, but Ashrah, she can just come in and do this.
So even if you only phase through my projectiles like 1 out of every 2 times, it's gonna hurt me a lot more than you.
Yeah. Because for me, it's just a little bit of really annoying chip damage because of your Reiko. But for you, it's...
Oh, that'll break your armor then.
I guess it will.
5 hits.
For you, it's 90 whole damage plus me getting my pressure back.
Yeah.
So, alright. Alright, Dadooine, you want to review the 3 tips for me?
Yes, sir. Alright, so tip number 1, the down forward one for projectile, whenever possible, get in and counter during that 40 frame startup right there.
Yep, you have a pretty spacious window.
Tip number 2, the down forward 3, where she slashes and jumps up in the air. I want to block that. And either do an air string or hit her with an anti-air. And then finally, tip number 3, watch out for that astral projection move. Don't get predictable with the projectiles, because she will read them and phase right on the
Yeah, and just remember, she's a bit mixy if you're not aware of the character.
Yeah, so I'm going to spend
She
some
is
time in
about-
the lab practicing those reactions, but also practicing just blocking for strings and really looking for the overhead mix-ups.
Yep.
Alright, another great lesson down. Thank you, Bob.
Alright, thanks for watching.
And now that school is over, Bob and I are going to have more time to record videos, so hopefully we'll get into a little bit of a rhythm here and keep exploring different characters.
If you liked our video, then press like. If you want to subscribe to our channel, you can press subscribe. And if you feel like leaving a comment, leave a comment. And thanks for watching. And we have been and always will be
The
Orange Team.